Hello, my name is Courtney Robinson, and welcome to KY Go Digital Live. This show is so exciting. We have a special principal with us to celebrate not just KY Go Digital Live, but also Digital Learning Day that is happening today, and I'm sure you're going to hear all about it. But what better way to celebrate with our principal, Erika Bowles, who will be sharing all kinds of cool things she does. Before we get started, I want to also introduce our awesome panel that is amazing, our KY Go Digital Live team. We have Heather Worrell, Executive Administrator of Digital Innovation for Jefferson County Public Schools. We have Brandy New, the Instructional Technology Coordinator for Hardin County Schools. Amy Butts, Instructional Technology Coordinator for Warren County Schools. And Dana Dowdy, Digital Learning Coach at Graves County. Everyone's excited to be here, and we're so excited to hear from our principal, who I've heard so much about, that she is just an amazing thing at Boone County. Her name is Erika Bowles, and she is the principal at Valley Shannon Middle School. Now, her background, and I know she'll get into it a little bit maybe, is she has served in elementary, middle, and high. She's been a principal at elementary and middle school. So these tools that she knows and is going to share will be tools that anyone can use as an administrator. And I cannot wait to learn from you. If you are watching though, guys, if you have questions, jump in the YouTube chat and make sure you ask some questions. Brandy and Dana will be in there to help you, and we'll ask those questions for you. If you don't have chat capabilities, just make sure you sign in, and that'll give you the capability to ask a question to Erika or anyone on the panel. Are you ready to share with us?
Sure, I'm ready. Thanks for having me on your show. This is pretty awesome. Only the cool people get to be on this show. All right. So here was the presentation slide deck, and I'm going to kind of shift back and forth between the tools that I want to talk about, like this page, and then all the other stuff that I really want to show, because this is really not the most important part of the whole thing. So when you guys asked me to do this, I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? I don't even know what to talk about. And then I decided maybe I'll just talk about the smallest number of tools I can think of that I use pretty much daily that are free. So these are tools I don't pay for. It's possible to pay for some of them, but you can get them for free and you can start using them immediately. So I'm going to talk about You Can Book Me. I'm going to talk about Google, probably too much. You probably have to tell me to shut up when we talk about Google. Voxer, I could talk about Voxer. I've done whole presentations on Voxer at ed camps because I love it so much. Screencastify has been huge for I can't even talk today, transforming how to communicate with the staff, and then Canva and some more. So those are the ones that I really want to talk about. The first one I want to talk about is You Can Book Me, and what you see here is that's just a snippet of my signature on my emails, and I make sure that I have this clickable link at the bottom of all my emails for You Can Book Me. So what it does is it connects with my school email, and I wanted to show you two different views. So this is the view that I set up that's on my scheduling page, and it's super easy. It's just erikabowles.youcanbook.me. I have posters of this all over the building, so kids can create student appointments with me. I have it on my email signature, so parents can create appointments with me at their convenience. And then after I do all my evaluations, which I will try to talk about here in a little bit, but I really just send a script to all my teachers and say, book your formative, book your post-observation, book your summative. And then we have one in here for people that are like, I don't have an observation, but I need to talk to you, like pronto.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I'm already like, oh my gosh.
So this is what everybody sees, but this is kind of like my version. So there's a back version, which you don't really need to see, but I won't spend too much time on that. But I love that so much because I do have kids that make a lot of appointments to talk with me. Like I have one during lunch today, one during lunch tomorrow, one during first period on Monday. But so it happens so regularly. I was like, and I didn't have the student appointment on there until probably a month ago. And I was like, why do I not have a student appointment on there? Now they can just schedule with me. Anyway, so I love that. It's Google, but I'm going to skip that and come back to it at the end and go over some faster things first. So Voxer is, you can use it on your computer or you can download the app. And it is a walkie-talkie app, but I don't use it just as a walkie-talkie app. I use it for a lot of principal administrative duties. And so I'm just going to show you, these are all the different Voxer groups that I currently have going on right now. And they're all different. So this one is just for our full staff. And we agreed that we would only put things on here that are celebrations or things that are non-work related. So this is a way that we build culture in our building. It's also a way that we have just little reminders about things. So this was one of our teachers flushing ice cubes down the toilet, trying to get a snow day. That did not happen. So this is just all the stuff that the staff can post here and I can post here, and it's super easy to do. You can just text and it shows up all the way here at the end. Sorry, got to get through all the stuff. Or like I can attach pictures. Like I can just very quickly, my staff is probably getting notifications on their phones right now going, what are you doing? So like there's the boys volleyball schedule that I'll send out. So it's super easy to use. And I love Voxer for that. But I also, we have a group that's just for our administrators. So that's just for the assistant principal, myself, the instructional coach, and our counselors, so that we can stay in the loop. Now you see here, we are putting together our Chipotle order. So we do non-academic things on it as well.
That's part of culture, right, Erika? Food, absolutely. Celebrations, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I have groups for every single one of my content teams, and we just talk about, I mean, you'll see, they're just talking about what kind of courses should we have next year. So this is funny. This is from my media specialist, who's also my STC. This was her asking if she could go to KISD. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, I can just do that on email. And you can just do it on email, but for some reason, the Voxer, I don't know, it just makes it more personal, and it just gives you that instant communication with people any time of the day or night. Now, that's also a drawback, but I love Voxer.
Well, think about it. It sparks conversation. An email is so limited that it doesn't invite that back and forth fluid conversation. And the world we live in now is instant. You know, it's that you want to learn or see what someone else says. If they ask a question, it may spark someone else to say something else. I love that you're open to that. You know, and that's what effective administrators do. They're available for that type of audience. Like Heather said, it's a culture thing.
It is. And I tell you what, I'm sorry.
I love that it's only for celebrations and positive things that are happening. And that way the focus is on celebrating what the great things are instead of focusing on the negatives. I really do like that.
Well, it always goes back to your cultural strategy. Like, you can't just be transactive all the time. You have to build in transformational leadership opportunities as well. And how can digital tools help you do that? And Voxer sounds like a great tool that you've leveraged to create that type of culture. So kudos to you, Erika. And I just want to point out, do you realize we have administrators from Butler, Boyle, Boone, Morgan, Warren County, and more joining us today? So shout out to all of our friends out there across Kentucky.
That's awesome. Okay, let's see what else I got. I'm not skilled at this share your screen, don't share your screen thing, so bear with me. Screencastify is one of the screencasting tools that I use. It's the one I just tend to like the most. And Screencast-O-Matic is one that I've used before too, but I use this for anytime I feel like an email is not going to cut it, or I need to create a tutorial, or gosh, I've used this for just about anything. It's a Chrome plugin, and it's super simple to use. I just go up to my Chrome plugin, which, oh yeah, I can use it. Ooh. And I can choose if I just want to show my desktop, or if I want to have my webcam in there with my desktop, or do I just want a webcam only? And you just click record. And it saves to your Google Drive, or it can save other places as well. But then it creates a shareable link, and then I just send that out. So, I wish I had pulled up. I had just yesterday, we were having a problem with, let me unshare that real quick. Just yesterday, we have a course that we call tutorial, and we run it the first period of the day, and it's technically where we run all of our RTI courses, but it's also where we run our enrichment courses as well. So I'm sure people call it a million different things, but we call it tutorial. And we create new schedules constantly throughout the year because we want it to be fluid for our kids so they're getting exactly what they need. So I had just created a new tutorial schedule and pushed it out, and I had a lot of back and forth email from my 6th grade team, and they were just not understanding exactly what it was supposed to look like. So I was like, okay, hold on, let me just create you a video. So I just quickly logged on, created them a video, sent that out, and said, if you still have questions, let me know. I'll come find you on your planning period. And all of them were like, oh, no, that made sense. That's what made sense. Because you know those times that sometimes you just need to talk it out. An email is not going to work for everything. So.
Once again, email is transactive, right?
Yeah.
And you're figuring out how to get to transformational with your leadership. Awesome. Chris Lacey, is he from Morgan County? Where is he? Yeah, from Morgan County. He says, let me read what he wrote. Screencastify just changed their free plan, unlimited 5-minute videos, and now you can export as a GIF for free. Is great for making teacher-student tutorials and Google Slides. Any other comments out there, ladies?
And Chris is amazing. Like, I love that he's on here because he's all the time learning. And that reminds me, Stephanie Wade, she was on Twitter recently talking about that she's enjoying getting to learn on Digital Learning Day, you know, as a leader in a leadership position, because all these tools can be used. So she wants to thank you, Erika, too, for sharing and helping her Digital Learning Day. Everyone gets to learn today.
And Stephanie just chimed in. She says, we love Screencastify and use the unlimited version. It's awesome for tutorials, for staff, and for teachers' use for reteaching. One of our favorites.
Canva. So we have a school, I manage the school Facebook and Instagram and Twitter pages. And as you guys probably know, if it's just text anymore, you're not going to get a whole lot of hits on your posts. So I do create a lot of different graphics, and I do have the purchased version of Canva. I'm trying to find it here, but you can do it for free, and you'll see all the designs that I have created for our school are here. And this is so easy to use because it's just like, if I go to templates, we're the Shamrocks, we're the Valley Shannon Shamrocks. So a lot of times I will just want to find anything that's Irish that I can post, or anything that's, yeah. And so I can just type in Irish and that comes up, or I can type in volleyball if I want to make a volleyball poster and something comes up. And I can go in and just tweak any of these to make them my own colors, to put in my own graphics. And so that is awesome. The other thing it does is it saves. So here's where I was creating all my slides for today's little fun bit of fun. But it saves everything that I have ever done. And so, like, for instance, when I wanted to go back and find all the graphics that I had created for orientation, because it's February. So, you know, we're planning the 2021 orientation right now. I just went back and found what I used last year to tweak that. So Canva.
Erika, I absolutely love this because Canva not too long ago released the Canva for Education that's free if you sign up as an educator, and you don't have to be a graphic design person. Be able to create all of the social media graphics and communicate with your families. Canva offers those templates and everything for free, and they're free size for Twitter and all the social media platforms. So I absolutely love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, I will tell you too, I am not an Instagram expert, and I learned very quickly that it has the sizes already pre-sized for Instagram. And I was putting stuff on our school Instagram, and it was cutting off kids' heads, and it was doing, I was like, okay, I'm just going to rely on this tool.
And I think about looking at where are the kids? You know, I mean, Facebook, sometimes not so much, but then that's where the parents are. And it's attractive. They look at pictures. I don't know the statistic. Maybe someone on the panel does about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you don't have some type of graphic or picture, how often that's not reviewed, and knowing that you are focusing on making sure that catches someone eye. And we don't, typically administrators don't have the talent to just whip up something beautiful. And the fact that Canva just makes it beautiful. It's amazing. Yeah.
Or honestly, the time. Like, we were all classroom teachers, and there was a once upon a time when I had the time to devote to things like that. And oh my gosh, you know, with the whirlwind of being a principal now, I need something fast, easy, and looks good.
So do your teachers use this? Do they use Canva too, and like posting things for their class or for their parents?
I don't know. I wish they were here so they could tell me. I don't know. They have really good looking stuff in their classrooms, though, if they're listening right now.
Well, what I love about it is that you're modeling it for them. Like if I'm a teacher in your building and my principal is cool enough to be having all these awesome designs, and that's going to make me want to have my stuff look really public, published and polished, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yep.
So, yeah, I love that you're leading the way. You're modeling for your school effective communication with more than just your staff, but with the community.
Well, that's kind. Thank you. Okay, this is another one that you can pay for, or it can be free. I do pay for this one. If you don't pay for it, then you do get a limit for the number of newsletters you create or how-tos that you create. So, but I will show you. It's kind of like Canva for me, but this is how I create all my staff and all my parent newsletters.
Well, while you're pulling it up, I know a lot of principals leverage S'more for their newsletters. And recently, our new male high school principal, Dr. Foster, was talking about how he was using S'more. And I know Will King, who used to be the principal of Bowling Green High School, he always used S'mores because I would follow him on Twitter and he could easily tweet them as well. Brandy, did you want to hop in here real quick?
Yeah, I was just going to say that Chris Lacey had pointed out that if you post to Instagram, then you can set it up to where you can post to all your social medias at once, and that way it's one and done.
Smarter, not harder.
Yep.
It reminds me of Mimi Ratliff. She was the first person to show me S'more. And I love that. I mean, that it can go so far. It looks so clean. Erika, you just have a lot going on, and you're doing it to make your life easier.
Oh, yeah. Every single one of these things is only to make my life easier. It is nothing. I don't do anything for show. I don't do anything just to, I'm going to try this. If I use a tool a couple of times and it didn't make my life easier, or it didn't save me time, I'm done. I don't use it anymore. So I will say, the one thing I will say about S'more is that you can go back and change it, and it saves. So I may be the typo queen, self-appointed, and I will always have typos. But then it's awful. I should do a better job at editing, but I'm really bad at that. But it allows me to go back and edit it an hour later and go, shoot, that's not what I meant to say. I love that.
Does that one say that 573 people viewed your newsletter?
Oh, yeah, but that's the parent one.
But that's amazing. Like, that is great, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny too, because I'll 121 times the staff looked at that one last week. So yeah, absolutely. And it's also interesting, and there's diagnostics on here and all kinds of stuff too. Just like, what time of the year are you getting the most hits? It's awesome.
Okay, I have to ask this question, Erika, because I work with principals all the time, and we're looking at their digital workflow, and a lot of our principals here in JCPS use Google Slides for their newsletters for staff.
Huh, okay.
So if we were to compare and contrast the pros and cons, what do you think is the benefit of using S'more over Google Slides for newsletters? Because I need to be able to tell them that and put some more tools in their toolbox.
Oh gosh. I think both could serve the same purpose. So let me talk about a couple of other things and the reason why I like it.
Well,
so
analytics is one of them, because you're not going to get the analytics on Google Slides. So that's one pro.
That's exactly what I was thinking, and that's why I pointed that out, because a lot of surveys and some things we have to turn in as an administrator to district level is, how do you know that parents are reviewing your newsletter? How do you know you're effectively, and I know it's two-way communication, obviously, but if they see that your email's there and that a way to communicate, you can book me. I didn't know that S'more did that. Thank you for showing me that.
I think it's also Google Slides is personalizable too. I just think this is way easier. If I want to add, I'm in publish mode right now. If I want to add anything, I just say, okay, I want to add text. or I want to add, it's just so easy. I'm all about easy. If I want to add a picture gallery, there we go. I just drop them in there. But, what's the difference? I don't know. There's a huge difference, but I find that this one's easier to use. This is my live newsletter, so I better just publish it and stop messing with it.
Great. I'm going to share this as an option for our principals as well.
I think my whole world is currently on Google, and the world of all of my administrators and, oh my gosh, and our whole staff, we do everything on Google. So here's some of the examples of things that we do. We do a student and a staff voice survey very often in our building. Last year we did it weekly. This year the kids said, that's really too much. So I started doing it monthly. Then the kids said, that's really not enough. So we've been doing it every other week. And this is just an example from November 18th. So I just put this together in a Google form. And then one of the things that I did not put in my 6 awesome things that I should have is Bitly. We create so many Bitlys, bit.ly, Bitlys around this building that the kids, it's part of their language. They say, is there a Bitly for that? So we just publish that to them through their Canva sites, and they'll go and they'll take this quiz. And then I have immediate responses from them, and they get on me if I do not post this like within hours of them taking it. They want to know exactly how did everybody respond, and then we hang them up all over the building, and they love that. Another thing that I do is so I can keep track of flex in service. I know everyone does this differently, and if there are Boone County people watching, I'm going to get in trouble for doing this because this is not the way we're supposed to do it. But I create a Google Doc, or it's a sheet, and then I just have every single teacher's name at the bottom, and they just fill in their flex during the year whenever they get it done. And then at the end of the year, I check it. It's super helpful for me. I like that a whole lot better than reviewing sheets or cards or whatever the heck we're doing. I stole this from Heather. This is my very limited and weak living calendar, Heather, but I know yours is was way more beautiful when I saw it in Nelson County. But this is just a way, and we really just started this because the teachers were like, we have got to have a different way to do a calendar. So we're trying this where we just kind of keep track of absolutely everything all the time. We have screens all over the building. So we have like televisions everywhere. And then I manage myself and the media specialist manage everything that goes on those screens. It's really just announcements instead of having to hang flyers all over the building. And you're going to see some of these things. Maybe you noticed that I did those in Canva, like you saw them in Canva.
Do you use Chrome Sign Builder for your signage and your TVs?
We do not. I can't remember what we have. It was purchased when they purchased the building. We have an internal staff site where I house absolutely everything for the staff. So instead of a staff handbook, they can go here. I started this a few years ago when I was at Long Branch as an elementary principal, and then I just kind of carried it over here. But if they need any information about what's happening in tutorial this week, they just go to the tutorial site. One thing that tends to come up is I don't know what to do with child abuse reporting, so I put that on there. But it's got everything from their evaluations to what we do in RTI to who works here. I even kept all of the stuff that they have to do. I usually push this out sometime in July and say, here's the opening day stuff that you have to do. These are all clickable, and there's that.
I love that. I love that. So if they have it on their phone, they can use it. It's right at their fingertips. I mean, because how often, I know a lot of people have things on their website, but you have full control over immediate access with that site, right? So you built that on Google Sites.
Yeah, and they all have edit rights to that site too. So if we keep, so they can add anything to it. They can adjust agendas. They can do whatever they need to do to that site.
Wow.
I love that because it's a one-stop shop for your teachers, and they can access anything they need right there. And I think it just makes it's a powerful tool for them then.
Yep. Hey, Erika, there was a question. Can you share your sign slides? Would you mind to give us the link to that maybe so that we can share it out? Someone in the chat would like to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will tell you, I work at 23 schools in the district, and there's one that has that one-stop website thing, and I'm like, thank you. Because then I know what I need from that place. So I'm trying to convince everyone else to go that way. But kudos to you. That's awesome. Very
so helpful. So helpful.
And I had a question on a text message. Did you just copy the Canva to the Google slide that goes around on the screen?
Okay, I'm just going to show you real quick. This is how easy it is. Here, so here's one of the ones that I did, and I just clicked the download button, and seriously, it saves as a PDF. It shows us all these things. So I usually just save it as a PNG. It saves to my desktop, and then what I actually do is, where are my sound sticks? So I just add another one, and then I'll just make it the background. That's all I do. Maybe just one more thing that we use Google for, but we use it for seriously a million different things. Oh, one of the things the district does with Google is at the beginning of the year, I love that they do this. They create a CEP folder for my building, and then they create individual folders for every single teacher. And then I just have to add in their observation summary and their Danielson. And then after I observe them, I upload their script, and then I just give them, let's see if I can find that for you so it doesn't sound so crazy. I was really worried because it was going to have some teacher last names, but it doesn't have any of their data. So I think we should be fine. But this is what the district creates for us. And so when I log into this main one, I have all these. And if I were to click inside one of those, I've got all their documents for their evaluations this year. And then what I do to make my life easier is once I finish their observation, I just upload the script, and then I go to one of these email scripts, and I just copy and paste it into an email for them to tell them exactly what they've got to do next. So these are different based on, is it your first out of 3? Is your second out of 3? Is it just your summative? But that helps me, if that helps anybody.
That is huge, and that will help so many people. I can't believe how Google tools have helped revolutionize the evaluation process to make it easier for principals.
And kudos to your district for having that already for you so that you don't have to go in, because I would have totally not minded to go in and created those alone because it's still an easier workflow. But kudos to your district of Boone County to go ahead and have that for every principal.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was huge. That's super huge. That makes me think that I should probably call them when we hang up today and thank them again.
And those email scripts, you can even set those as templates or what used to be canned responses in Gmail, or use something like Formule and automate that out. So that's really exciting.
And then just the last little thing that we use for Google is we organize our tutorial this way. And I'm going to guess that a lot of people do it this way. But one of the things I want to say that I want to learn more about plugins or like what the Chrome extensions. Because I know Alice Keeler tweeted something out recently that talked about how, do you see how many tabs I have down here? So we've just been building throughout the year. And every time we create a new tutorial schedule, or every time we have an ATM meeting, we add another tab in here. But she has a way that there is a Chrome extension that makes that a whole lot easier. But anyway, this is also viewable by every teacher in the building, and they have edit rights so they can go in and change. And this would be an example that I'm showing you right now of, there should be kids' names here, but there's not. And we just have them color coded based on whether they're tier 3 or tier 2 in their different content areas, and then their tutorial schedule. And then I just take this and download it as Excel and mail merge it into a Word doc and create individual schedules for the kids. And that's how we create their schedules.
That is fantastic. I wanted to point out, I visited your school recently, and I brought our principal of our new Females of Color STEAM Academy, Rhonda Cosby, out to visit you. And you were using Google Forms for student voice, on a rotation, and you had the data from the student voice survey posted strategically around the school. And I loved seeing that. I hadn't seen that before. Can you talk a little bit about how you integrate student voice into your overall plan for leading the school?
Oh, sure. Well, the majority of my kids come from the elementary where I was principal at. And we were a Leader in Me school, so there was a lot of student voice at that school. So they are very, very accustomed to, they will tell me what they think and what they want. And so we started giving student voice when I opened this building because I didn't think it would be as simple as the other building. The other building, my office opened right into the main hallway, and so kids were in and out all the time. Here, I felt isolated. I just felt like middle school is just so much different, and they are just in a schedule, and you don't get to talk to them much, and there's not a whole lot of flexibility because their teachers want them in class learning. So I needed to have some way to have a connection to the kids and to kind of figure out how they were feeling, because this is their school. This is not my school, and it's not the teacher's school. It's their school. So we started creating these voice surveys just to get feedback. And we do anything from, like, the most recent one was academic. We are trying to decide which graphic organizer, keep in mind, this is our second year as a school, so we're building from the ground up. We're trying to decide which graphic organizer we want to use for our CERs for the building. And we gave the kids a few weeks to practice with 3 of them, and they just voted on which one they liked the best and why. But other times, like we did a mental wellness check a few weeks ago for our voice survey. And we always put something fun on there, because they love to send you personalized things, and then to see in the hallway when it's like, oh, really? Your favorite M&M is blue? That's interesting. Mine is yellow. So just stuff like that.
Well, I love that you don't just ask them for the sake of asking or for compliance. Like, you truly ask it, and you take the information, and they know that you're reading it, and they know that you're doing something with it. So that makes, when you give a survey that you need, they have buy-in. They know you're looking at it. It gives you credibility that you're not just doing something for compliance. And I think that as schools look at asking for student survey, that what you're doing will help them when they look at, hey, if I do this often and let the kids know that this means something to me and I care about what you say, then that will make survey, because sometimes people think surveys are like, oh, another survey. You look at it as, hey, I get to learn more about my kids. That's awesome. It's so powerful.
And I have done and I always follow up, and I'll say, hey, you guys, because we see them in lunch every day. So when I have that captive audience, I'll say, hey, you guys in the voice survey said that you did not like the way we were running tutorial. Just wanted to let you know, I heard you. We're going to do something about that. Or like last year we had morning meeting and they didn't like the way it was going. And so I was like, I heard you. We're going to change it. They need that. They need to know that the adults in this building hear them, see them, value them. It's just one way we do it.
I feel like you might get more honest data that way too, and more honest feedback from the students. And it's kind of like in a non-threatening way where they feel like they can open up and reach out and communicate their thoughts and their feelings about it. So I love that.
And I keep it anonymous all the time. The only exception is we do usually have a blank that says, if you'd like for us to respond to any part of your survey, please leave your name. And we've done surveys that have said things like, do you have a friend that's being bullied? If you don't mind, please leave their name. Do you feel like you're being bullied? And so you don't have to leave your name, but if you really definitely want action or follow-up, then they have that space to do that.
I wanted to just point out, it's evident to me, Erika is an extremely strong cultural leader. And I know I've said it once already, but just look at how she's leveraging the digital tools to improve her school culture for students with the student voice and for her staff. And so she's using digital tools for the transformational and the transactive. And I just want to say, if you get a chance to take your team from your district out to Boone County to visit her school, you will not be disappointed. Between Valley Shannon and the Ignite Institute, it is worth the trip. And I also want to say Stephanie Wade from Boyle County is on the chat as well. And Rhonda and I went not only to Erika's school, but we went out to spend time with Stephanie Wade in Boyle County to see their new middle school. So if you're looking for innovative leaders in Kentucky, what's going on in Boyle County and Boone County are definitely some districts you need to check out.
Okay, well, I want to come to Boyle County. I'll go steal your great ideas.
Erika, we just appreciate you sharing. It's obvious that you have a ton as an administrator, but it's obvious that you have channeled and leveraged digital tools in an effective way, like Heather said, to support your students and your staff. And I like how you said, hey, I'll come and steal your ideas. You're willing to share. You're willing to grow. That's why you are so amazing. And we appreciate having you on the show for sure. Amy, do you care to close us out and kind of show and tell everyone how they can continue connecting with KY Go Digital?
Sure. Erika, thank you once again for sharing with us today. This is a true team sport, and you are helping us all work smarter. You can receive on-demand video support by subscribing to our Kentucky Go Digital Live channel on YouTube. All you have to do is click subscribe. Our March lineup will be out soon. Watch Twitter and Facebook and follow the hashtag for updates. Also, big announcements for our Kentucky Go Digital Live Regional Summer Tour. Remember to keep your eyes open for the regional sign-up form, which will be released very soon. So see which date that you can connect in person with many fellow rock stars as they share awesome digital tools. Don't forget that as you create, connect your good ideas to our hashtag so others can share them around the state. Until next time, Kentucky Go Digital, yes.
Get involved with Kentucky Go Digital. Attend regional events, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or follow us on Twitter.